Well, today we're going to talk about animation. That's right, DC League of Super Pets. Right after this. Don't go away.
Previously on the Nerdy Ronin Network.
Did nobody watch it and go, oh. So, here we are, on another wonderful hump day. Wednesday it is, and I gotta tell you, I've had some stuff going on. Nothing for you to be concerned about, but the original movie I was gonna talk about today, I just didn't have it in me to watch, so I'm gonna talk about that on Friday. So last night, I decided, you know what? What would be wonderful? A cartoon. So hey you guys, thanks for being here. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. There's some cool stuff in the description down below if you're interested. And we're going to talk about this movie right here. DC League of Super Pets. 2022 PG, an hour and 45 minutes. Now right off the bat, I'm going to tell you right now, this movie did not need to be PG to do what they did with it. The story would have been great and fine and perfectly done well without the cringe model that they use of trying to be like Shrek and failing miserably. What do I mean by that, you say? Well, very simply, this movie is Krypto the Superdog and Superman are inseparable best friends, sharing the same superpowers and fighting crime side by side in Metropolis. However, Krypto must master his own powers for a rescue mission when Superman is kidnapped. Before I get into the issues with this, I want you to see, first off, The Rock was the dog, Kevin Hart was a dog. Those two guys worked so well together. They were fine. They were great, actually. John Krasinski as Superman, perfectly fine. Kate McKinnon was so annoying in this, and it may be because her character in the movie yesterday, not yesterday's movie, but the movie I reviewed yesterday about the Beatles, her character was so awful, and she frustrated me. But anyway, neither here nor there. Mark Maron played Lex Luthor in this, and he did an awful job. It was silly. We'll get into it. Hold on. Honorable mention goes to Keanu Reeves as Batman. That's right, Batman. And let me tell you something. Why hasn't he played Batman in a movie yet? Why? Are you telling me that Robert Pattinson would do a better job than Keanu Reeves? I do not think so. So Keanu Reeves gets an honorable mention because he was fantastic as Batman. However, that does not fix the problems of this movie. First things first. I don't know about all of y'all. I love animation. I grew up loving animation, and I used to draw and do comic book artwork, and I came this close to going to art college. That's right. This guy. Alright? I didn't do it for whatever reason. That's not today's story. But I love well done art. I love comic book art. You know what I hate? Excuse me. Tumblr art. Tumblr art is awful. Tumblr art is not good, nor has it ever been. And in this movie, I started the movie, and you got Krypto the dog and Superman, and they look fantastic. They're well drawn for the most part. And then you meet the Justice League. And side note, Lex Luthor and his henchwoman, they're drawn well. They look like actual comic book characters. And then you meet the Justice League. You meet Green Lantern, Aquaman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and they're all drawn ridiculous. Especially Batman. Batman looks horrible in this. And they look like they look like bad art. Whether it was intentional, it just seemed odd to me that the animals were drawn correctly. Superman was drawn correctly for the most part. Lex Luthor, the bad guy, drawn correctly. His henchwoman, drawn correctly. And then the heroes, look like garbage. Batman, it was a horrific rendition of what Batman should. It was terrible. The artwork took away from the story so much. It was terrible. There's not another word to describe it. The character, whoever designed the characters, did a garbage job. And that's coming from me. So, you ask, was the story any good? The story had great potential. It was a good story. It was interesting. Something I think kids would enjoy. And parents alike. Kind of like Shrek, as I mentioned earlier. However, Shrek did something very interesting for the time period. Shrek was a kids movie that had some zingers in it that only made sense to adults. But it did not. It was so well written, it did not take away from the story, nor was it obvious to children that there was some adult-themed humor in it. And it was nothing crass enough to make it an issue. It was done well. It was well written. In this movie, their idea of that is to have the old turtle, super turtle, whatever, say bad language and just bleep it out. And it was off-putting. It wasn't funny. I didn't laugh. In fact, I don't remember even cracking much of a smile. I think there was maybe one scene towards the end that was kind of funny with Batman and the dog Ace. Excuse me. There was a joke between those two, like or what have you. It was pretty good. And as I said, Keanu Reeves did great as the voice of Batman, and he should be in a Batman movie. He could pull it off well, and looked the part. But that's neither here nor there. The writing is not done well enough for it to pull off the Shrek theme, where you've got a little bit of adult theme stuff in it. This is PG, I can only assume, because you can tell what they're saying when they're cursing, or when the turtle's cursing the 3 or 4 times it happens. It's completely obvious what they're saying, and they just did a poor job bleeping it out. I think intentionally so, to try to make adults laugh. Man, it was just so poorly done. Between the semi-decent writing, because the storyline is good, but some of the dialogue is bad. Like, it's just not well done. And I don't know whose fault that is. But I was looking forward to this because I love the characters. Unfortunately, they didn't pull it off. Is it worth one watch? Sure. And I think kids will enjoy it. It has a good message in it about the power of friendship, if you will, and how, sometimes it's okay to ask for help. You don't have to do everything by yourself. So yeah, it's got a moral message in it. But DC, how often are you going to mess up your own characters? I'm just curious. Stop putting people in charge of these stories and the designs of your characters, the beloved characters, to make a quick buck. When if you would just make a straight story, based on the canon and history of your characters, you could make $1 gazillion. You and Marvel, man, y'all aren't looking big picture. You're looking fast buck. And it's obvious. So there you have it. That is this happy hump day review of DC League of Super Pets. Is it watchable? Yes. Is it watchable more than once? Not even a little bit. And there you have it. And that's too bad, because I wanted to enjoy it much more than I did. So, from Michael the Microphone, Bob Squeaky Chair, and this irritated comic nerd, we will see you tomorrow on Taking Out the Trash Thursday, talking about She-Hulk. Have a good day.